Hi guys, this is my other brother's Blackwing deck. I probably should have mentioned this before, but those other two decks are my brother Lido. This is my brother Dante. The last brother is Kajatsu. He doesn't really like to be mentioned that much, or he doesn't even play Yu-Gi-Oh! So this is his Blackwing deck. It's fairly standard. Only a couple minor changes that he would really have to the standard deck, being really in the spell of traps. So let me break it all down for you here. Really, he's elected to go with the 2 Blizzard, 1 Vayu. He doesn't really like 2 Vayus. He has tested it. It really tends to clog his hand, and he doesn't in particular like clogged hands. I don't really know anybody who does. 2 Blizzard, I think, is more than enough for the deck. It allows you for your easy synchro summons into a 6, whether it be Armed Wing or Brionic or Goyo even. So really, just 2 should be more than enough when it comes to handling all the Blackwings. Everything else is pretty standard. 1 Dad, 1 Gores. He might switch over to Spirit Reaper in light of the recent 6 Samurai stuff. We haven't really been testing with it lately. He's been kind of busy. So he's got the 3 Bora. He does have 1 dual terminal Bora somewhere. He's looking for a 2nd and a 3rd. So hit me up if you've got them. Gale, 3 Kalu, 3 Blackwing, Shura, 3 Shiroko, Gores, Dark Arm Dragon. When it comes to Shiroko, how do you guys pronounce the name? Hit me up actually on the text box. I've heard Shiroko. I've just heard Shiroko a lot from the Gundam anime actually, or the Gundam game that I played on PlayStation 3, the Dynasty Warriors Gundam. But all this stuff is fairly simple for a Blackwing deck. You know, your 1800 that lets you recruit Vayu or Gale or Blizzard if you have to press the attack. 1700 lets you he can special summon himself and he pierces. Your 2000 normal summon that pumps up for every other Blackwing on the deck, on the field, including your opponents. So it's real key in the mirror match. Gale allows you to half. It's your half your opponent's monster's attack and defense. It's your level 3 tuner. Your 3 Kalut, which is essentially your Honest, except you could do it when you're attacking directly, which is always awesome. Your Vayu, your little 800 Aksuki member, who you could either bring off of Shura and be able to synchro summon into a magical android. It's always a decent first turn play. Your Dark Arm Dragon allows you for your destruction ability, and your Gores over here, which allows you to block some attacks and always produces this pretty decent sized token, at least so I've seen. So onto the spells, also fairly standard. Allure of Darkness allows you to draw 2 cards removed from play a dark. If you've got more than 5 monsters in the grave, 5 darks in the grave, and you're not able to special summon Dad anytime soon, it'll definitely work to your advantage to remove that. So really the only thing here is we've elected to only run 1 Mystical Space Typhoon, the Giant Trunade. He runs 2 Pod Duality. 3 is a little bit overkill both in the deck and on the wallet. It's like $120 right where we are, so a little too much to drop for it. He actually was really lucky and got these for 80 apiece. Otherwise, it's fairly standard. Your Monster Born, your Trunade, your Dark Hole, 3 Book of Moons, the Double Duality, the MST, the Allure, and the Black Whirlwind, which lets you essentially recruit any monster in your deck aside from the Gores, the Dad, and the Shirokos. Now, the trap lineup is where it's a little bit different, mainly because he likes to run Delta Crow even now. He might be changing this when it comes to the 6 Samurai, or mainly the Delta Crow, only the Delta Crow actually, when it comes to the 6 Samurai, just how they very little set cards. It'll at least be a side-worthy card, I think, in my opinion, but it's your normal stuff, your Royal Oppressions, which allow you to negate your special summons, lets you do a couple of neat tricks with Vayu, of course, if especially if your opponent doesn't know the ruling on it. You could get underneath it yourself with Black Whirlwind and your Blizzard, just you can't synchro summon, and that's just the basics from there. Solemn Judgment, negate anything, Icarus attack, shoot Blackwing in this case, pop 2 cards on your opponent's side of the field. Your warnings to stop your opponent from, well, pretty much making any monster play whatsoever if you so choose. Your Mirror Force, your Bottomless, and your Torrential. I know that some people really don't like running Torrential in their Blackwings, only because it's just difficult to pull off in the deck, and you don't really want to sacrifice your board. I personally like it. My brother likes it, so it's been staying in the deck ever since, and he hasn't really had a problem with it. I will be trying to do interviews at Stafford at Gaming, etc. for other decks that I don't have here. But there's one Blackwing deck in particular that I would like to just get a word in from the pilot. He's one of the better Blackwing players I know, actually, and it's always good hearing an expert on a deck, especially since I don't personally run it. I know how to run against it, so I do know all its tricks. It's just I don't run it in the different mirror matches, in the different matches, including the mirror. So he'd be better off telling you what I can't. Extra deck's very similar. One Stardust. He doesn't really make it that often. Good for the Starlight Road and the side deck. The 2 Armed Wing. I do not find 1 Armed Wing enough. I've typically go into it very frequently with Value with Blizzard. I do not think 1 is enough. I think 3 is too many, however. I've never really had a problem or wished that I had another Armed Wing or wished that I didn't have 2 in the extra deck. I have not found him to be that useful at 3s or at 1s. Same thing in the reverse for Armor Master. He's only good at 1 this format. It's very difficult to make him, and the only ways you could do it is a level 4 in your Gale, or you're doing the Value play, which is removing your Armed Wing and Value to make him. So even then, his ability doesn't work. I only find myself making him very, very rarely. And, here's the rest of your extra deck. The Silver Wind, which I have not successfully Synchro Summoned once. I haven't even made the attempt to. It's only there in case I've Synchro Summoned Armor Master and have a Value in the graveyard, and he's in the graveyard as well. A very, quick level 8 with 2800 that's able to attack. He does have the Dark End Dragon. Scirocco and Gale always works, or Blizzard and, 2 Kalut, I guess, if you have them on the field if you're in a really bad position. But, the extra deck's fairly standard, as you've seen. 1 Black Rose, 1 Scrap Dragon he was able to actually get pretty decently. So, the Fortress Dragon, he does side deck Cyber Dragons. He will be continuing to side deck Cyber Dragons. He just does not have the mained. Works good against the Machina player. Only 1 should be fine. And that's about it for the Blackwings. I have 2 more deck profiles to go, so stay tuned.